as Quinnipiac freshmen to tell you about the Learning Proficiencies.
Oprah's interested in our school because she wants to know how we can party all the time but still obtain the awesome grades that we get.
The Learning Proficiencies are what makes us outstanding students in college and in the future and stand out in a crowd.
We've interviewed various people who make up the Quinnipiac community to get their intake on the Learning Proficiencies and see why they think it makes us better students.
By the way, Oprah, did you get that t-shirt?
My name is David Ives. I'm the Executive Director of the Albert Schweitzer Institute at Quinnipiac University. The main goals of my job are to promote the values and ideas of Albert Schweitzer on a worldwide basis, with a specific emphasis on peace, humanitarian values, and health.
I am Melissa Gramulia, and I am a resident assistant here at Quinnipiac.
My name is Greg Van, and I'm a student at Quinnipiac.
My name is Heather Eves. I'm a residence hall director of the Commons. Part of my job entails doing programming for students, supervising the 12 RAs that live here in the Commons, as well as doing conduct and making sure that the students are happy and comfortable here.
I'm Courtney. I work at Tommy's Tanning. I go to Briarwood College in Southington, and I major in dental assisting.
What proficiency do you believe will be the most beneficial post-graduation?
The one that I think would be most beneficial would be the one having to do with responsible citizenship, and especially the global awareness. I think that's a weakness in throughout the United States, both in high school and in college. I don't think we have enough knowledge about what is going on outside the world and depend instead on cliches and very little research to back up whatever opinions we might have on whatever international problems face us. I think written and oral communications are also very important, but it's something that you normally can pick up in a normal session of classes, in a normal grouping of classes. Mm-hmm. Because most faculty are pretty good about requiring somebody to be able to express themselves in writing, at least, pretty well before they graduate. But often students do not get any knowledge about what's happening elsewhere in the world. And in order to make good decisions about citizenship and who you're going to vote for, about where we're going to allocate resources, I think you have to know about all the other cultures.
Definitely.
Between all of them?
Yeah.
Let me look back at them. I left them up just in case.
I think that social intelligence would be most beneficial.
Why?
Because you need it most in life, like to get a job and to talk to people and to influence people.
I really think I think they're all beneficial and all serve a purpose. I think that the written and oral communication proficiency is really important to students because if you can communicate with employers and with peers and colleagues, that's the most important thing that you can do. As long as you can get your ideas across in an effective manner, then you're, meeting the goals at hand.
I really think it, especially I think all of them in a combination will all help in some way. Help after graduation. There's a little bit of everything. I don't think there's just one thing that if you have it, then you're golden. I think you have to have a little bit of all of them in order to really be successful after graduation.
I chose creative thinking and visual literacy just because it'll help you make decisions in the future and expand your views on different things and give your opinion on what you think.
What proficiency do you believe you are most exposed to on a daily basis?
Both responsible citizenship and diversity, because what I'm trying to do is promote diversity as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Having people exposed to cultures, whether it be by bringing people in here or letting people go out on trips with me, or for that matter, anybody else. Diversity is something that I feel is very important, and I'm also constantly trying to bring the world to Quinnipiac and sending our kids out into it. So that has to do with the responsible citizenship and understanding the national and local communities.
Right.
So those are the two areas that I think I'm exposed to a lot on a daily basis. I also think that critical thinking and reasoning is an important thing that I do every day, because I'm trying to get people not to just to be shocked by poverty or be shocked by whatever it is, a problem that people have in the world, but to think about it in a reasonable fashion and to analyze why things have to be the way they are.
Right.
I mean, I think it's just because I'm an RA, it's more of the, I guess not so much the written oral communication ones, but like the social intelligence, diversity awareness, and the responsible citizenship ones. I mean, there are so many, I wouldn't say problems, but situations that call for me to be the mediator and like to try and help people understand whether it's communication's kind of off or, you know, Quinnipiac really isn't that diverse in a sense, and so when you get people who aren't exposed to that at home and they come here and they have a roommate or have a class where they talk about issues like that, they get really uncomfortable, and, you know, it's hard, you know, for them to really be open-minded, and I think at least recently I've been having to deal with a lot of that. So I think it's a lot of those interpersonal ones, communication, being a mediator, trying to get people to understand and have people understand each other.
Probably written oral communication.
Why?
Because like that's what we basically do every day. Like we write, we write, and like we learn in school, and that's basically what school's all about.
I think, again, the written and oral communication is the one I'm most exposed to. I think I see a lot of times where students have trouble communicating verbally as well as through email as to exactly what it is that they want, whether that's with me or with a roommate or a professor. I think that that's where students struggle, so that's the one that I see most often.
I said diversity, awareness, and sensitivity because there's so many different types of people that come in here, between college students or older people, even people like 50 and above. So that's with work.
How can a first-year student at Quinnipiac best prepare themselves for a successful life after graduation?
Well, expose themselves to, I would like people to take risks, not, stupid things, but calculated risks that enable you to have an experience that you may not have in your lifetime. College is a good time to go overseas and live in a completely different culture, or to go on one of the Schweitzer Institute or humanitarian trips. Some people, like some high school students, like you, had that experience already.
Yeah.
And I think those are essential for people to understand what's going on in the world and to understand that there needs to be some good experiences to understand what poverty is like.
I think there's always that difficulty, especially first year, balancing between fun and studying, and I think, it's not that you can't have fun, and it's not that you shouldn't have too much fun at the same time. I think it's just a matter of being able to find the balance between how you work and what's best for you, and how you can use that to your advantage to have fun later. Because that's always a good thing to have, especially after college. You don't want to have to work so hard during college and not really get any of those social skills that's a part of being college life. Right. I think that's essential.
I think they could best prepare themselves by studying, working hard in college.
I think that by looking at all of these proficiencies and making sure that you are becoming knowledgeable in all of these areas, as well as getting internships and early and practical experience that can help supplement your classroom experience, is the best possible way to make yourself marketable for a job and a career in the future.
I would say to take advantage of all of the proficiencies throughout college, pretty much.
What proficiency would you recommend a first-year student work on?
Well, I think they're all pretty important.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, I would pick probably diversity, awareness, and sensitivity.
Yeah.
Followed closely by responsible citizenship, as you might imagine, would be. if you're not going to expose yourself to other points of view and other cultures, I don't think you're going to be a very educated person.
I'd say a little bit of all of them. I mean, I think it's hard to not focus on. I feel like reading over them, there's a lot of overlap between them, especially the interpersonal ones. I think that, you shouldn't be an all-star at all of them and/or all-star at just one, but just to kind of grab a little bit piece here and there. And I think as you progress in your years here, you get better, and they just end up, it becomes like second nature. You just end up grabbing pieces here and there and little tidbits. And I think once you graduate from here, if you have a successful college experience, then everything will kind of fall into place.
Probably diversity, awareness, and sensitivity.
Again, the communication. I'm stuck on communication. I think that that's a really important one, and if you nail that down, all of the others will come with time. I think that that's one of the basic building blocks that you really need to stick with.
I would say written and oral communication, only because you write a lot of essays in college. You do oral presentations like PowerPoints, and even socially, like making friends, it'll help you in the future.
Well, there you go. That's why Oprah was so interested in our learning proficiencies. Proficencies. We're so smart. Well, that's it. That's why Oprah was so interested in our learning proficiencies at Quinnipiac.